Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rebel Rewind. My name's Christopher, that's Eric.
How you
How you
doing?
doing, Eric?
Oh, a bit like we were talking a little earlier. I had better days, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
If I
so
look a little lethargic, it's because I've been under the weather. So just deal with me.
all right.
Bear with me.
Hoping you feel better.
How you doing,
Acolyte
Chris?
drop. I'm doing good. I'm excited for the Acolyte. Acolyte two episode premiere tonight, so that's exciting. I'm excited about that. How are you feeling about that?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, yeah, should be good. I think it'll be fun. Should be interesting to have more lightsabers in Star Wars television, live action Star Wars TV. Because I think the last Ahsoka was the last one, but like this is like to another level, right? With a bunch of Jedi and
Yes,
yeah,
this
it
looks
looks
good.
amazing because
Yeah, it
we've
does.
gotten a couple trailers and typically I think how these trailers work they usually it's usually footage from like the first 2-3 episodes, maybe a little bit from the fourth episode, but
Right.
they don't usually put stuff from the last half of the season in it. So if this is all like the first half of the season, like the back half, the last half's going to be pretty epic as well, I think. So
Looks like it's going to be full of action on this thing. I can't wait to watch.
yeah, I know that's what I think too.
Hmm.
So yeah, as our title of this episode, there are some rumors and stuff going around. Let's jump into the first article I saw here. So it's a rumor that the Daisy Ridley New Jedi Order movie was canceled by Bob Iger. So this is just a rumor. Nothing confirmed yet, but we know from stuff that Daisy Ridley has said over the last little while in interviews and stuff that there isn't a script yet. But
Yeah.
this article is saying that three separate sources are claiming the new Jedi Order is in big trouble. And all of these articles, I've linked them in the description below. So if you guys want to check them out and give them a full read, because I'm just gonna try and skim through some of it, the important stuff. It's asking, is it three strikes and you're out? Three separate sources are claiming that the Charmin Obaid Chinoy Star Wars New Jedi Order movie starring Daisy Ridley has been canceled. So last year, Hollywood reporter and producer Kamran Pasha first claimed it wasn't happening last year. However, Pasha also said the Acolyte wouldn't see the light of day, but the series is it's getting getting released today. It's going to be starting in like less than 30 minutes from
Yep.
now. So I don't know how reliable he is. But it says regarding rumors surrounding Star Wars New Jedi Order, they surfaced following Daisy Ridley stating multiple times in interviews that she hasn't read a script. Now, according to World of Real and Empire City box office on Twitter, it said either Star Wars New Jedi Order has been killed off completely or it will be vastly different once it does get released. So if we scroll down a little bit more, World of Real said, according to they said sources filled them in this past January that the flick was delayed and that Disney CEO Bob Iger had put the pause on the project. Iger has confirmed numerous times Disney is pulling back on both Star Wars and Marvel. At the time, the site said there wouldn't be much movement surrounding the film and that there were creative bumps down the road. So I don't know, like, again, just rumors, so it could not be true. I don't know how reliable these sources are. And then, those creative bumps are said to include that Stephen Knight did write a draft of the script, but was given so many notes by Lucasfilm that he had to start over from scratch. And then it does say Empire City box office was saying that they kept hearing one of the projects that Bob Iger and Disney mentioned this week that they have quietly killed off but haven't made public is in fact the Rey Star Wars movie. So I guess we just got to wait and see if there's anything official from Disney, because Disney and Lucasfilm usually give us like some sort of, they usually say something about it when they got rid of when they shelved the Rogue, what is it, the Rogue Squadron movie. So
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel? Because I'm a big fan of the sequel trilogy. I'm really looking forward to some sort of Rey movie where she's, starting the new Jedi Order. It could bring in characters like Cal Kestis and like an older Grogu. We could have an older Ezra Bridger show up and be part of Rey's new Jedi Order. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's not canceled, and I hope it stays along the same lines with Rey training some more Jedi, some new Jedis. But how do you feel about it?
Okay. Well, I think if they did cancel the movie, that would be not so much of a bad thing, because I think they can actually make a TV series out of this, a 6-episode series. You'll spend less money on it, right? You spend less money on it. We get to know, where these characters are later in their life. Maybe we'll catch up with Grogu, but I think making a series would be a good thing. Like 30 minutes or 40 minutes series episodes. So I mean, if they do cancel it, then maybe they'll go in the route of making this like a series, and it will still get caught up with the characters and stuff like that. So I don't think this is really a bad thing, in my opinion, if they did cancel it.
Yeah.
But,
so you're saying if they cancel it, hopefully they do like a series instead.
A series, yeah. I think a series would work better for this. You'll get the people who want to watch it to go catch it, and and not spend a bunch of money on it. Like Disney, they don't want to lose money on this, I'm sure. And there's always like this, backlash on the movies, on the sequels. And maybe, this way, we'll still get what we need from it and get caught up with the characters and stuff like that. And it'll work out maybe better that way.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So concerning the series we're going to watch in a couple of minutes here, we got some very interesting news from CBR. All right. So CBR star Lee Jung-jae names, and I think this is pretty cool that he names Qui-Gon Jinn as an inspiration for Master Soul. And I've got that from a couple of people who actually watched the series, first two series, that's what they caught from it, which is pretty cool. If you're going to get, and they didn't even know that this was the truth. There was forgot his we're gonna put a pin on that right now. But so I'll come back with the name. All right, so we got here, according to EW, Lee said he pulled inspiration from Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Liam Neeson. All right, I was inspired by a lot of the past Jedi Masters and wonderful actors who played them, Lee said, but one of my favorite characters was Qui-Gon Jinn, which many actors choose to find inspiration. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool that they're going to get he plays his character as inspiration from Qui-Gon Jinn's character. We love Qui-Gon Jinn for the most part. I think most people love Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, I think so. Qui-Gon's definitely one of my favorite Jedi from the prequel era. And Lee Jung-jae's character, Master Soul, is that's one of the characters I'm most looking forward to seeing in this series, because all the promotional material with Lee Jung-jae in it, like everyone's saying how great of an actor he is, and he was great in the Squid Games too. So and it just speaks volumes that this guy is, like, what is he? I think he's Korean or something.
Yeah, he's
Korean. Like he doesn't speak like he speaks barely any English, but he learned English to learn enough English to speak the lines for for this role, right? So that just speaks volumes to me, right? Like how dedicated to this role he is, and such, right? So
Yeah, he said he's no
yeah,
stranger to action flicks because he said in Korea he entered 2 months in training camp and he noticed that the fight choreography, which he did for I'm not sure what it was exactly he was referring to, they started teaching for the basics. And he said, and the part of me was like, oh, I kind of know all of this already. So he's like he knows this stuff before, so which is pretty cool, refreshing that somebody who's not put in the position as a Jedi Master to already have some training in basic martial arts, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
So I'm
that
not
sounds
sure what
awesome.
you think about this.
I I I think that's cool because, like I said, like
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to seeing this character. Like this is a character I'm most looking forward to see in this series. And he seems like he's a pretty pivotal. He's got like a pretty pivotal role in the series, and to uh to draw some inspiration from Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn.
yeah,
That's really really awesome. So yeah, no, just another reason to be excited for this character, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that we don't get a early death from him, but hope that's not the
Yeah,
case.
right?
Yeah,
Hopefully not. Yeah.
yeah,
So then the next article I saw from Comic Book Movie. So this is something that Kathleen Kennedy has been saying. I think she said it a couple times now over the last little while. A lot of women who step into Star Wars struggle due to the male-dominated fan base. So I know Kathleen Kennedy isn't everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people are disliking what she's done with the majority of Disney Star Wars. I disagree. Like I really enjoyed the sequel trilogy. Um, I loved all the series. Like, sure, there's some that I don't like as much. Like the Book of Boba
hmm
Fett could have been better.
yeah,
The last season of The Mandalorian could have been better. The Rise of Skywalker was kind of jam packed, so it could have been. It needed some more breathing room there. But like she's also done some great stuff. But I don't know, the what she's saying there is pretty much that this fan base is still like it's still male dominated. What, like 20, 30 years later, or whatnot, right? Like things haven't changed over the last 20, 30 years, when the prequels came out and stuff like that. Like it I don't know if
yeah.
I don't
I
know if
don't know if I
that's
agree with
quite
that.
true. I don't know if that's quite true. I know the fan base is quite toxic, but I don't know if it's I don't know if that's why a lot of women who that step into Star Wars struggle. I mean, I see this is going to be getting blown out of proportion by a lot of fans who have read this and seen this. Um, what are your thoughts on what she said about this?
Well, there's tons of female Star Wars fans, right? So, I mean, to get this from her, I mean, I can, not that I can see it, but I mean, there's well, why, like they throw out the word Mary, was it Mary Sue, or is it
Yeah, for Ray.
Mary, yeah, and things like that. But at the same time, it's like if the character's done right, then we're gonna love the character, and if it's badly written, then of course we're gonna say what we, how we feel, But it's not to say it's toxic, but it's just people voicing their opinions on certain things, and some people are out there, But
Yeah,
at the same time, I try to keep it, if the character's done right, I'm gonna like the character a lot. So,
yeah, yeah.
and I mean,
Basically,
it's not that I'm not.
basically
What
what
I'm saying
this
is that she's not saying anything that hasn't been heard before.
yeah, yeah, because basically what she was saying, like where is it? So like every fandom has its share of toxic elements, which Star Wars definitely does. And Star Wars experienced more negativity and backlash from Star Wars fans than any other franchise over the past few years. So like when The Force Awakens came out, Daisy Ridley was announced as the lead, and I know a lot of people were, like you said, she was deemed as a Mary Sue, and the toxicity reached an all-time high with that. And then with Rose Kelly Marie Tran's Rose Tico, a lot of people didn't like her character. But I don't know if it's just because like the fan base is male dominant. Like there's, like you said, there's a lot of female fans, and I even see like there's female fans in the comments criticizing Kelly Marie Tran and Rey, and even with the new Acolyte series, there's female fans criticizing that. Like a lot of the female fans are just as toxic as well. So
maybe it's got something to do with poorly written characters.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
so I just yeah. I mean, but I don't think what she's saying here like that it's due to a male dominated fan base. I think it's there's other reasons, like you said, maybe poor writing and people just don't like the character, which is fine. But that's not all the fans. Like I myself, I really loved the character of Rey. Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tico was great. Was she underutilized? Yeah, she was underutilized, especially in the Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, I don't think it's due to a male dominated fan base, but I feel like Kathleen Kennedy is going to get a lot more criticism and hate due to that comment. I think. Hatter's House says, "What's up, fellas? Can't say that I'm surprised." Hey, Hatter's House. Says I wasn't looking forward to the Daisy Ridley movie, anyways. See, I'm still looking forward to it. I'm hoping, like as a sequel fan, I am looking forward to it, and I'm hoping it doesn't get canceled. I blame all this on a channel. Thanks, Hatter's House. Skywalker's Academy. Thanks for hopping in the chat. Said if Rey's a Mary Sue, like Luke is a Gary Stu. The parallels between Anakin and Rey are strong. At least she knew what and who the Jedi were before she picked up a lightsaber. There we go. That's true. You're not wrong. Because I mean, Anakin didn't. Well, I mean, Anakin knew what a lightsaber was as well. He knew it was a laser sword.
Yeah.
But he didn't really know as much as Rey did about like Rey knew of Luke Skywalker and the Jedi and stuff, right? So yeah, Skywalker's Academy, you do have a point there. But yeah, no. Final thoughts on this? The Kathleen Kennedy comment.
All I can say is do better in writing the characters. Oh, that's just pretty much it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna go to my next story. Star Wars teases first ever look at a classic Clone Wars alien in live action. So we've got this character here. We have here from Screen Rant that the next Star Wars show, Acolyte, recently revealed a glimpse of a first action appearance of a classic alien species debuted in Star Wars Clone Wars. And let's go into a little more of the story, which I'm kind of excited for. Let's see. So we have, not only does the Acolyte bring out the Zygerians in live action, he also made a Zygerian character a Jedi, as they were briefly seen wearing the ceremonial white robes in the High Republic era. Zygerians has been a long history in the Star Wars galaxy, which is pretty interesting. Is that this race of aliens are not friendly to the Jedi's, which I think is pretty interesting. How now we have a Force sensitive Jedi Zygerian, because they're all basically slave traders. So I think it's pretty interesting that they would get a Zygerian that's an actual Jedi. I think that's
yeah, and it's also nice that they're bringing stuff in from
Clone Wars,
right? Like canon stuff, right? So ties to the Clone Wars, ties to all this other stuff, I'm sure. So
Yeah, I think it's pretty refreshing that we get another type of alien on here. So I'm not
yeah,
sure what you think about this, Chris.
yeah. Like I said, I think that's exciting to get more ties to Clone Wars prequels, all that stuff, right? So
Yeah, she did
like
her homework.
it's nice the connectivity, yeah,
Yeah,
and Leslie Headland has done her homework.
yeah, yeah.
I've seen some interviews with her and other cast members saying, you know, how much she really knows Star Wars. She's done her research. She really appreciates Star Wars, like 'cause she's a big fan herself. So, and this is one thing that goes to show, like her bringing in this species as a Jedi, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
she's pulling in stuff from here, from there, from all sorts of Star Wars content, right? And bringing stuff in. So very very exciting stuff
Yeah,
there.
exciting.
Skywalker's Academy says, "Catch you later. I'm going to watch Acolyte 1 and 2. Awesome. Look forward to watching that later tonight as
Thanks
well."
for dropping in the chat.
Yeah, so that I like that. I like the connectivity between stuff. I like how they're
Yeah,
connecting stuff. And
very
Dave
cool.
Filoni's he's already connected a bunch of stuff with his stuff, like with Rebels and the Clone Wars, right? He filled in all these gaps and stuff. So it's nice. It's nice they're tying stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
yeah. So my next article I found pretty interesting. So it's about Ahsoka season 2. So uh, Star Wars Newsnet posted this just a couple days ago, actually June 1st. So I guess Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson got together and they talked about their experience filming together for Ahsoka. They couldn't talk while the series was airing due to the strike, the writer's strike, and stuff like that. But they were able to sit down and talk about that, and they they talked about they talked about Ahsoka season 2 and how their characters could um, come back in season 2 as well. So let me just find
I'm excited for
they
that. That
both
was
had, yeah. So let me say, yeah. So Hayden chipped in with his opinion on a possible Ahsoka return, staying humble in knowledge that it's not up to him. So he said, "Look, as whether or not we see Anakin again, I don't know, but it's as evidenced by the last shot of the series. He's with her in spirit as they continue to have this conversation on Peridia, right? So he's basically saying, you know, he's on Peridia with Ahsoka, so why wouldn't he show up in season 2, right?
yeah.
And then Ahsoka or Rosario kind of gave a longer little bit there, and she was saying, I will just say that as she puts on the hologram of him, you see there's several of them, of the holograms, kind of like in the shot behind her, right? So uh, there's potential, but I love also not just being regulated to those messages and things we might be able to see more of in the future. We've gotten to see him from the films now into the show that he's been able to become this Force ghost that brings him back to Anakin, who at the end of the day, when we went and ascended into that space, that's what he became, right? And Rosario said also, and I love that she's got that access point. I love that the peace has continued, and you get to see it reflected in him. That he gets to enjoy seeing what his legacy has become in a different way. And if Dave Filoni is listening, I hope we get to explore that more because the road ahead is not going to be easy. And I think it's been one of the really cool things about this story is a lot of these folks have been able to continue. Um, I'm very into that sort of uh, integr- integrational uh, openness of wisdom being passed on, and I would hope that she'd still be able to access that wisdom. So um, both pretty much saying the same thing. I mean, Hayden being a little more, um, or Rosario being a little more in detail about what she'd like to see, but they're both pretty much saying the
Mhm.
same thing, that that they're both on pretty together, and who knows what could happen, right? So I'm excited for more Anakin and Ahsoka in Ahsoka season 2. We know that Dave Filoni's been writing, I think, at the over the last while, season 2. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, if they're being observant, and how many hits videos like that, clips like that, was hitting on YouTube, if they're paying attention, they'll do the right thing and bring in Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson back together again. I think that's just it just makes sense, And we had those clips of their training, her training, right? But if we can get like some kind of memory of something like during the Clone Wars or something like we got on the episode, on that, which episode was it? Episode 5, right? When we got
Yeah,
the Clone Wars, uh, revisiting the Clone Wars. I think we get some more like that. That'd be awesome. We get some like revisiting back, towards the Clone Wars and her training with him. I think that'd be so awesome, right? So
yeah,
if they did their studies, they were like listening or watching how many views for these clips they were getting online. They'll do the right thing and not just leave it in the past. They just actually do more of that. That's pretty cool.
yeah, absolutely. So, something to look forward to for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We bring Hayden back at least for an episode or so. Yeah. So Ollie, maybe a continuation of her training, or maybe him guiding her or something like that. Kind of cool, right? On
Yeah,
Peridio.
yeah,
So all
yeah.
right. So next story we've got is the runtime for the Acolytes, which I think this is a pretty cool fact that we got episode 1, which started today, is 41 minutes. Episode 2, 36 minutes. So episode 3, we have 42 minutes. And episode 4, we got a total of 32 minutes. Now, I'm not sure if the runtime for the rest of the episodes are out as of yet, but this is what I got for what we got for the runtimes for episode 1 through 4. I think it's right under an hour, and then a couple of them like over half an hour, right? With the
Yeah,
with the ending and everything. I think 30 minutes. I think that's a good time. So if everybody who's doing like reviews or doing reactions of this, is pretty cool that you could get it and do it in a decent time, because episodes don't take long, and then the starts at what, 8 o'clock
yeah,
Central Time. Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's
what do you think about the time
so
of these episodes?
I know a lot of people complain about the run times for pretty much everything that we've gotten on Disney Plus, as far as Star Wars content goes. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, give us an hour stuff, give us whatever, right? Give us closer to an hour for the show." But I'm kind of like in the boat where, as as long as you're giving us fulfilling story, like stuff that actually moves the plot along, it if it makes sense to have it, whatever length, 41 minutes or 32 minutes, whatever. Um, if it makes sense for the story to only take that long to tell that part of the story,
Yeah,
then fine.
exactly.
Like, it doesn't need to be an hour long if you can't fill that hour long episode with actual stuff that moves the plot along, that helps character development and stuff like that. So
And
it
if they're
doesn't have to be an
dragging
hour
it,
long. Yeah, if
yeah,
they're dragging it, right? But
you
like,
can begin to feel it.
on the yeah, on the flip side, like, if you have enough stuff to put in that episode where it's not going to drag on, we're gonna have some character development and stuff like that, then I'm good with that, right? So yeah, I'm happy with these ones, especially the 41 minutes and the 42 minutes. That's closer to an hour. Do we know if it's with or without credits? Does it mention it?
Uh, let's see if we had any credits on here. I don't think it says anything about that. Let's see that. No.
Yeah. So I
Or
mean, who knows? That could be without credits too, even so.
could be. Could be. It didn't say
Yeah.
anything about it
So
being with credits or not.
right. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with those run times. Like I said, I know a lot of people want longer stuff, but if it doesn't make sense to do a longer episode where it's not going to drag on, where it's going to be kind of like slow, like
Mm-hmm.
keep it this length, right?
Yeah.
Like cut out what you need to, and have all the action and stuff or whatever to tell the story. So
Oh, as far as I see,
yeah,
man, it's
no,
going to be action packed. 30 minutes,
yeah,
40 minutes of action packed.
right. That's what it looks like. So I'm
Yep.
excited. Like it should be, yeah, it should be starting pretty soon here. I'm gonna refresh. I got the Disney Plus site open just so we can get some titles here, some
I'll probably
episode
start
titles
right
because
about
there
now.
should be.
Oh, yeah, it should
Yeah,
be
okay. So
starting.
we'll dive into the episode titles here in a minute after we're done our last couple articles. But the next thing I saw was an article about how Mandalorian season 4 could be canceled as well. So this was on the direct, and This was posted a little while ago, actually, May 26th. So I think that was like the end of last week or middle of last week or whatever it was. So it's five reasons why Mandalorian season 4 won't happen on Disney Plus. So why the Mandalorian season 4 might get canceled. So as far back as May 2022, series creator Jon Favreau confirmed that he had begun writing Mandalorian season 4. He later confirmed in February 2023 that he'd finished writing the next season of the Disney Plus series. But Lucasfilm threw a curveball into the mix in late 2023 by announcing The Mandalorian and Grogu as the next theatrical Star Wars movie, which has since uh, announced its release date for May 2022 or May 22nd, 2026. So the Hollywood Reporter explained the discussion to shift from season 4 to a movie for the Mandalorian's next outing came during last year's strikes. Things got reevaluated with plans shifting to the movie as a priority. So with the Mandalorian and Grogu now, the priority for Lucasfilm and Favreau, that leaves the obvious question of whether season 4 will happen. And there are several reasons to believe there may not be another outing on Disney Plus. So the first reason, box office glory, obviously. So the Mandalorian has grown a huge fan base over these 3 seasons to make it one of the biggest series of recent years, a symbol of the modern streaming era, and arguably the face of Disney Plus or modern Disney Star Wars, which is true. Like a lot of people loved the first 2 seasons were incredible. The third one was still great, but you
Yeah.
know, I think fans still rank the Mandalorian season pretty high. One of the highest, one of the better shows on Disney Plus as far as live action Star Wars shows go. But due to the growing popularity of these characters, Disney is looking to capitalize on the heightened interest at the box office with the Mandalorian and Grogu. Uh, Between how well the Mandalorian brand has resonated with audience, this being the first Star Wars movie in 7 years, expectations are high for the flick to turn around big numbers at the box office, possibly over 1 billion. So, I mean, that does make sense. Um, Star Wars big screen future. After spending years with a focus on Disney Plus and streaming under former CEO Bob Chapek, his replacement Bob Iger is making efforts to refocus the House of Mouse on big screen and reestablish the studio's box office dominance, which is great because I do love going to the theaters and seeing Star Wars, right? Like it's been since what 2019, so it's been almost 5 years since that. Um, another reason they have is Pedro Pascal's growing career. So going into The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal was mostly a TV actor, best known for Game of Thrones, Narcos, and other smaller roles on TV. But now Pedro Pascal will be in the Fantastic Four movie, Gladiator 2, among other movies. He's going to be doing The Last of Us season 2 as well. So it's going to be tough for him to come in and do a series. Although, in my opinion, he's only doing the voice, so he could do the voice recordings wherever he is, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a good enough reason. But another reason why we may not see Mando season 4 is the growing Mandoverse. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau's exploration of the New Republic era has grown beyond the Mandalorian. So with the Mandoverse saga expanding into the Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and the upcoming Skeleton Crew, while there was a time when The Mandalorian was the only blockbuster series Disney Plus had to offer, the streamer now has plenty more to offer across the Marvel and Star Wars universes, thanks to the likes of Loki and Ahsoka. So now that Disney Plus has other hit series to carry it forward and continue the Mandoverse storytelling where it began, Lucasfilm can comfortably allow Din Djarin to make the jump to theaters and tell his future stories in theatrical form, which is cool, yeah. And then the last reason they have for it possibly for us not getting a fourth season, jumping storylines confusion. So The Mandalorian starting its saga on Disney Plus with 3 seasons of character and world building, following it up with the next big chapter on the big screen, only to bring it back to streaming with a fourth season could grow confusing. Regardless of what happens with the future of The Mandalorian, the climax of the interconnected Mandoverse has been confirmed to come in theaters. So the saga will seemingly conclude with the Dave Filoni directed crossover flick, which will pit the heroes of the New Republic against Grand Admiral Thrawn in his. I think there's even a rumored title for it, isn't it? Heir to the Empire. I think I heard.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I'm hoping we still get a season 4 because he did finish writing the season. It would be great to see that. It would be great to see the season 4 just before the movie. So even if they released season 4, I don't know. So this comes out May 2026. So if they released it early 2026, season 4 January 2026, it's that they still got time to edit the series and film and edit the series right now at the time being, right? So that'd be amazing if we got a season 4. I see some of these reasons being reasons why they might not do a season 4, but like the whole Pedro Pascal thing, like he could record his lines while he's not on set, but like in his trailer or whatever, he can go use another recording booth, wherever they're recording this other stuff, right? Like he can do it. He doesn't have to come into the studio to do the in suit stuff anymore. So but but before we jump into your thoughts on this one, let me just jump into the chat there because we got a few people in the chat. So we got Travis Mitchell says, "How's it going?" Hey Travis, thanks for hopping in. Joseph Ricky says, "Hi all." General Kenobi's bunker in the house says, "Hello there." Hello, General Kenobi. Thank you for hopping in. Why is this show called The Acolyte? So it's because I think it has something to do with the apprentice of the Sith, the dark side character, is the Acolyte. So basically it's Amandla Stenberg's character is the Acolyte, I believe. We got Mrs. Seriously Star Wars in the chat with the super sticker, $3 super sticker. Thank you very much. Let me just throw this up.
Super chat received. Thank you very much for your support.
Very cool.
And then back to the chat. So we got Darth Mojo. Acolyte is what the Sith followers were called. Yeah. So basically, what Amanda Stenberg's character is in this, because she's like a dark side follower, Sith follower. So it's not the one with the lightsaber. That one's probably going to be like a Sith of some sort. But Travis saying back in the 90s, a lot of shows would release theatrical films during the show's run. Transformers 86, Power Rangers, and X-Files, Fight the Future, which was a better one. I mean, Travis isn't wrong, so they could still even do a season 4 after this. I don't think it would be confusing, but
yeah, make it a own separate story. I know they probably just trying to think, well, how are we going to sync it up to the movie? But at the same time, you can just make stories.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? Like, do you think those are 5 reasons that are good enough for them to not give us a season 4? Do you think season 4 is going to happen?
I just really, I don't know. I really wish we do get a season 5. But if they choose not to, then they're trying to save the Mando for the series. I mean, for the movies, and that makes sense too. It's all about money, right? So if that's what they're trying to do, but at the same time, man, I'd love to see, Mando come back and continue the story. Like I said, they probably not going to do it, because at the same time, how we're going to end this so it can match up with the movie we're trying to do. But they need to not worry about it if that's the case. And if you're just trying to use excuses like that, this, we don't have time budget, and time wise, you don't have the time to do it or whatever. Like you said, you can do it in the voice booth, because you don't actually have to be there, in this suit.
Yeah.
So maybe, like you said, just excuses, but I don't think they're very good excuses. But who am I to say, right?
Right. But I'll tell you one thing, like the end of season 3, where it had the shot of Din Djarin leaning back in the chair and Grogu playing with the frogs, like that seemed like to me, it seemed like a kind of a series finale. So it does work for a series finale, and then bringing this back. So I could see it going either way, but
if they finish
either way,
with that,
either way, we're getting more Star Wars on the big screen. We're still getting Mando and Grogu. I'm excited. It's exciting times for us.
Exactly. I'm super excited. So, last story we got here is from Game Rant. All right, so they're going to be utilizing, and I like this. Skeleton Crew brought back a familiar face from the original trilogy era. Well, it went to VFX artists who helped bring the original trilogy most memorable special effects to life. Created by John Watts and Christopher Ford. Hold on, let's say it falls. Nope, that's not what we're talking about here. Okay, so during the interview with Collider Steve Weintraub at CCXP Mexico City, Watts explained how Star Wars Skeleton Crew used a combination of new and traditional special effects techniques. We got all the cool stuff on my most recent Star Wars show. We had a previs mocap, and we shot the volume. We did everything, but the most fun part we had was use of the old school technique as well. We got Phil Tippett to do stop motion. We did matte paintings, just like old-fashioned matte paintings. We got ILM painters out of retirement to come out and do that. So I think this is pretty fun. I love the special effects that the stop motion of it all, of the original trilogy. We got a little clip right there. It's fun, and it's just old school, and the paintings they have for some of the backgrounds is the stuff like that. Even though it's old, but at the same time, you feel like you remember this stuff, as watching the original trilogy.
Nostalgic, sense of nostalgia.
Nostalgic, yeah. So I think this is pretty cool. Step in the I know we're in everything's into all the special effects of green screens and stuff like that. It's actually have Like
Great.
you know, stop motion's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great that they're bringing back
A legend,
someone who
right?
worked on the originals. Yeah, a legend, like someone who
Yep.
worked on the original Star Wars, like Empire and stuff with this the stop motion and stuff like that. Like he said, a legend, right? So that's awesome that he's coming in to do some stuff for the for Skeleton Crew, or that he's done. I guess he's done it because I think they've already wrapped filming. So yeah, that's incredible that they're bringing him back. So I'm all for that. I'm all for the practical effects. The best effects are just ones that you can't really tell are there, right? That you can't tell that they're doing. So whether they do it with the practical or the computer generated effects, then it's as long as it looks good and it's believable, like whichever way you got to do it. But I love that they're bringing Phil Tippett back to do this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, I can't wait to see the Skeleton Crew. It looks like a cute film or show. You know, the character,
Yeah.
little kids and everything, and so
Yeah. Travis says, I grew up on the 2004 special edition, so a lot of CG creatures are imprinted on my brain as much as the real ones. The droid who punches the other one to the ground in the Mos Eisley cantina, or in Mos Eisley, yeah, just as the speeder's going by and he knocks him to the ground,
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, whichever way they got to do it, but it's nice that they're bringing back a Lucasfilm ILM legend, so that's very cool. So last news of the day, not an article, but let's bring up because it is just after 8 o'clock your time there, Eric. So
Yes,
which
sir.
means it's just after 9 Eastern, which is Acolyte time. So they posted the episodes now. So if you're curious what the titles are, the first one, Lost slash Found, and then episode 2, Revenge slash Justice. So what do you take from those titles?
Oh well, that second one, Revenge and Justice, right? So you got
Yeah,
Revenge, right, which is more leaning to Sith, and Justice, which is more leaning to Jedi's. I think it's
yeah,
pretty interesting, very interesting title. Lost and
yeah.
Found, that goes
No,
a lot of ways, but yeah.
yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch these. Acolyte. We got Star Wars on Disney Plus again, so exciting times. Hatter's House says play episode
So,
1. No, um we're gonna be hopping off pretty quick here, so I'm gonna be watching these 2 episodes here with my wife and Eric. I'm sure you're gonna be watching this in maybe not tonight. You said you're not feeling too great, so
yeah, I'm
hopefully
not
you
feeling
can
too good.
rest up. But we'll talk about these episodes next week on the next episode of Rebel Rewind.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but all the articles, all the news articles we went over are in the description below. If you guys want to give those a full read. Hatter's House says, "Don't want you to get a copyright strike." Appreciate that, Hatter's House. Yeah, so everything's in the description below for you guys to read those articles. And looking forward to the Acolyte. We got what, like a month and 2 months of the Acolyte here, just under 2 months.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
looking forward to it.
when is Skeleton Crew coming out again?
I think Skeleton Crew is supposed to come out at
Towards the end of the year.
the end of the year. Yeah, like around Christmas time. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So no, it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan with the Acolyte out, and hopefully everyone just gives it a chance. I see a lot of negativity in some comments where they're like, oh, I don't like Disney Star Wars, and I don't like this, so I'm not even going to bother watching this. So, but I'm excited for it either way.
Yep. You know what? I'll probably end up
Yeah.
watching one episode tonight.
There we go.
Yep.
But Eric, I guess we will sign off for now. We will see everyone in the next episode next week when we talk some more Star Wars news and rumors. So we'll see everyone then.
We'll see y'all then. Have a great evening. Good night.